I'm Ash.
And I'm Bree.
We couldn't find a blueprint.
So we're making our own.
Welcome to Doubtfully Yours. Good.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We're going to talk about how we met, how we grew up, how we got here,
And what in the hell are we doing?
and everything in between.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll start out strong. We met when we were 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
10 years old, courtesy of Hannah, Montana, actually.
I will say, with the 20th anniversary coming up, we feel as though this is very important to mention.
Very important.
That we are also at our 20th year this year.
This year.
Besties.
Yeah, October. She was new.
Yes, I had just moved into town.
And we showed up to school wearing the same Hannah Montana concert tee because we had just gone to that concert the night before.
And I saw her and I went, "Did you go to that?" And she said, "Yep.
Sure did."
And we've been stuck at the hip ever since.
Yep.
Now, who are we? I'm Bree.
Ash. And we are probably the most socially awkward people you'll ever meet. And we decided to do a podcast because that felt smart.
Yeah. Well, the reason that we're here is because a couple months ago we did the iconic Portland to Coast, which, if you aren't aware of that relay, it's coincided with Hood to Coast,
the mother of all relays.
Mm-hmm. And we did it for the first time ever in August of 2025, and it was an absolute shit show.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
I mean, we were unprepared, untrained.
Nobody on our team had even a lick of experience. Nobody had the right shoes. Nobody prepped for it. And we went in completely unaware of what to expect, and we got humbled quickly.
Yeah, and we had no idea how it worked. Like, we didn't even know actually what it was. We had no idea where the vans were supposed to go. We had no idea. We didn't even know that you could stop. I mean, I legitimately almost died for that reason because we didn't know that your vans could stop halfway through.
Yep. So that then spurred the two of us to start our own journey. And in some ways, yes, it's a health journey, but in most ways, it's really just a journey.
Yeah, I mean,
self-discovery of learning. There's things that boxes we've been put in that we're trying to decide, is that really where we're meant to be?
Yeah,
and we want to do it together. So that's why we're here. Welcome. If you are also just figuring it out, you can do it with us.
Yeah.
Or you can listen to our absolute embarrassing life and feel better about yourself.
Yeah. I will say, take everything we say with a grain of salt. We are not experts.
And we're not professionals.
We have no idea what we're doing.
No idea what we're doing.
None.
Which is the point of the Doubtfully Yours.
Yeah. I think that the doing this whole thing, I mean, it's kind of happened really quickly. And I mean, I wouldn't say that the podcast itself was a spur of the moment. I mean, we have been planning it for a couple months now, and like getting all of our stuff that we needed and all of our equipment.
Trying to figure out what we want to talk about, because I mean, that's still an ever evolving subject line. We don't really know,
because we don't want it to be just about fitness. We don't want it to just be about our running and our growing in that department, but that's so heavily
what we're doing right now,
part of us right now,
for what we're trying to self-discover. But at the same time, we want this to feel like you just got on a FaceTime with your two best friends.
Yeah.
And we're all trying to figure it out together. So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
We're going to figure it out.
I guess we can talk about our Hood to Coast experience and how that went for both of us, because we had similar but also
very different
experiences and what that kind of led to, because we both kind of approached it in a majorly different way. I mean, it
feels like Hood to Coast or Portland to Coast. So for those who don't know, Hood to Coast is the running version and Portland to Coast is the walking version. They're different distances, but for walking, I believe it's 129 miles,
something like that,
23 miles,
and it's like 169 for the running or something like that.
Yes, it's very far. So if you're running, you're going from Mount Hood to Seaside, which is the Oregon coast. And if you are walking it, you're going from downtown Portland to Seaside, Oregon coast. So we did the walking portion because none of us in the team were runners, and still technically not, but trying.
Getting there.
But the premise of Portland to Coast, Hood to Coast is you have a team of up to 12. We did not have that many people, so unfortunately that didn't work out for us. And each person takes between 2 to 3 legs, and the legs vary in range. Like mileage, but for the most part, it's anywhere from 5 to 8 miles.
Yeah, and I mean, we had wildly different age groups. I mean, we had
Mm-hmm.
from, early 20s to what,
50,
50s?
55, I think was the
Yeah, mid
oldest we had on our
50s.
team.
So, we kind of had to pick and choose who got which leg based on the only knowledge we had at the time, which was the map courses. I mean,
Yes.
and the elevation courses. We had no real life experience. We had never listen, if you're thinking about doing it for the first time, at least drive
The course.
the course
They tell
first.
you to do that.
We did not.
We don't follow directions very well.
Yeah, no, we don't take directions very well.
That's a learning curve that
Yeah.
we've learned. Now we know.
So we gave, the easier, the less miles to
Those who didn't feel as though
as competent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with that being said, there are not very many easy legs.
No.
So everybody's doing something in the hard or very hard category. And whether that be the distance makes it hard or the elevation makes it hard, or like what terrain are you walking on, because there was a lot of legs where you're going on straight gravel, some where you're on, like we did, the pavement, and it is 105 degrees and you have no water and nobody for 5 miles.
Yeah. And I was in kind of a weird position because I knew my legs, but then one of our teammates had an injury.
Mm-hmm.
And so I ended up switching with him so that he could have my easier leg and I took his. Completely blissfully unaware of
Last
what I
minute,
had
too.
actually gotten myself into.
Yes.
And we were fairly close, but we weren't in the same band.
No,
Like
we were not.
I was originally. Well, there's a piece of hair. I was originally, but then when I switched, I ended up in the second band. And yeah, you were what, 3 people before me?
I was
No, you were 2.
number I was number 4 in my van.
Yeah, and
so
then
2 ahead of two ahead of you.
So, and I was number 1 from my van, so I was the first one to get to experience that joy.
It was, let me say this, it was absolutely brutal. It was probably one of the best but worst things I've ever done in my life, and I wholeheartedly would do it again and am doing it again this summer.
Hell yeah.
But that leads to what we've been doing.
Yeah, hence the preparing and the journey that we're going on, because we do not want to get caught where we did.
No.
It
really taught me personally. Yes, I am blissfully aware that I am fat. Okay, I know that. But it really just puts into perspective how unprepared you are when you do something like that.
Yeah.
And it taught me that I don't ever want to be that unprepared for anything in my life ever again.
Well, I know that we were both caught in the dead of heat. Like
Mhm.
we were both so unfortunate enough to have that blazing heat down
And those
on
were
us.
our hardest legs. So we both had a hard and very hard leg to start, and then our second leg was considered like a medium
Yeah, like a
intensity.
medium difficulty.
And unfortunately, mine started at I think 11:30 noon. So we were getting into the heat of the day. It was record heat last year. So I'm walking on pavement with no wind, nobody in sight for 6 miles straight, and I almost TKO'd. And she then took over one person after me, but hers went about 2 p.m. in the actual dead of the heat.
Yeah.
Probably another 5 degrees hotter. Like I believe when I was on the pavement, it was like 100. And I believe when you took it, it was 105.
Yeah. When I looked it up after I was finished, it said it was 105, but the pavement heat was 129, which is
Unreal.
Mine was sinful. Okay, it was nothing but rolling hills, and I'm not talking like just dainty. No, I'm talking straight up and down, fighting for your life hills, and it was just one after another, after another, after another, and there were no trees. It got to a point where I was literally cowering in bushes to try to cool my feet off because my shoes were melting.
Yep.
Like they were legitimately sticking to the pavement as I was walking, and by like mile 3, I had like one of those camelbacks,
Mm-hmm.
and I had 2 liters of water, and I hydrated before because she had texted me like, drink.
Drink as many electrolytes as you possibly can. I am dying. I
So,
was dying.
I had pounded them back, but by mile 3, literally halfway through my stretch, I was out of water. And we knew that we were going to lose service at some point, but we were expecting it down a couple of legs when we got into
like
the forest.
closer to when we're getting close to the Oregon coast. Like anybody who drives towards the Oregon coast knows that there is a nice spot where you're going through the rolling mountain hills where you're not going to be able to contact anybody. And it's usually only like maybe a 15-mile stretch. It's not crazy, but almost this entire course was disconnected.
Yeah, I had no way of getting a hold of anyone. I had little spurts.
We got lucky that she was able to contact me, and I was able to find satellites because I was in the separate van to contact her team to be like, she needs help. Like,
I
go find her.
I don't know if anyone has ever like experienced heat exhaustion or like nearing heat stroke, but there gets to a point where your body literally makes no liquid. Like
Yep.
I was uncontrollably sobbing because it was so hot. I was so thirsty. But there was nothing happening. I like it is the most revolting sound that ever has come out of me, but it was traumatizing.
Mhm.
And when I finished, and they came to greet me, and I just collapsed. I looked at I call her mom. She's her mom. But you know, I've grown up with her my whole life, so she's mom to me too. I literally looked at her because she was in my van, and all I could get out was help, and then I just kind of fell. And my team had to, you know, hook under my arms and drag me back to the van, and they were dumping cold water bottles on me and putting towels around my neck, and I was out of it for a solid
Hours.
Yeah,
Couple hours.
it was
brutal.
it was bad.
Which then led to after we finished the Portland coast. Once again, best and worst experience of my life. Vibes were totally there at the end though.
Oh my gosh.
Totally there.
We totally like forgot any pain or anything. It's like it's like childbirth, you know?
You just block it all
Like
out.
you go through all of the pain and everything, and then you're like, I would do that
I
again.
would 100% do that. That was pretty fun.
Okay, it wasn't that bad.
But that then spurt our villain era. And the reason is, I'll let Ash take this one because her journey started before mine did, and her villain era stemmed directly from the hood to coast right then and there.
It did. I was pretty proud. I finished my 6 miles in 2.5 hours, which in the dead of heat with no practice and obesity was kind of impressive, I would say. Finished in 2.5 hours. I was feeling good. We got to the middle of the night exchange, and one of the teammates in my van thought it would be really fun to bring up the fact that it took me so long to finish and that we're behind because it took me so long to finish. Not to, you know, let me just say this. They were the one who kind of took on that Karen role when I collapsed. Like they seemed legitimately worried about, I mean, my eyes rolled into the back of my head. So like they were nervous, and they took really good care of me at the beginning. And then spent the remainder of the time telling the whole team how if we do this next year, we really should put people in categories they're capable of doing, because, you know, everyone's doing really good, but because Ash took, and he exaggerated so much. He
did. He said it was like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
I'm like, I could track her. And I know for a fact it didn't take her that long.
No.
Yes, it did take over 2 hours.
Yeah, it did.
So yes, it took longer than a 20-minute mile. Sure.
I just want to say, I recently did 6.2 miles in an hour and 44 minutes. So
we are working on that, and once again, we'll.
It goes back to the villain arc, you know,
Yes.
but the or the villain era. But yeah, so the entire rest of the time was spent hearing from other people and directly from him, because he would say it in front of me, how I was the reason why our
team did
was
so bad.
Yeah,
or
why we took so long.
why we didn't finish, or we would have been my van would have been in Seaside if, you know, she didn't take an extra hour, or 2 hours, or 3 hours to finish her leg. And at the end of the day, what's crazy to me is when you're in that moment and you're doing it, mind you, like I said, none of the team practiced for this. Nobody trained. Okay. And in the moment, it was, let's just finish, right? Like, we didn't have a goal time. We weren't saying we wanted to be one of the top teams. We literally just wanted to finish, and that was what was important.
Yeah.
So to just drag her down after one of probably the most traumatizing moments that she's experienced, and one of the most, for me, that was one of my most proud moments. And to try and like derail how impressive what we did was, because her time didn't fit like whatever you believed should have happened. When you walked only at nighttime, should I mention, you didn't walk in any of the heat. You didn't even do, you had a third leg, and I'll give you that. You did more mileage than, not everybody, but most people, sure. But you didn't experience what we did at that time, at that heat, on that day, with no wind, no water, no preparation, no idea. And to like drag somebody down for that, when in being who we are, and I'm sure anybody who's ever been in a bigger body understands this, you already know that you're a hindrance in some way to everybody.
Yeah,
Okay? Everybody sees you as like a blockade.
Yeah, you constantly feel like you're the what's the word? It's gone. It's gone. I had it.
You
It went, but
consistently feel like you are at all times the problem, right? You have done something, you're always a burden. So
hindrance.
yes,
That was
yes,
what I was looking for. Like, you're a hindrance
you
to
are.
everyone.
You feel that just in your day to day, being a bigger person. Like, I'm so sorry that I have to pull my arm in from you. Okay, like I'm so sorry that I have to shimmy to get past you. Right? Like I get it. Okay, there's so much fat phobic stuff around the world that, like, in general, you're already going to drag yourself down in those moments of like, yeah, of course my fat ass took 4 hours or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the whole point was to finish, and we did that, and it was fucking awesome.
Also, let me prerequisite by saying there was only one legitimately fit person on our team. One. Out of what, we had 10 people?
11.
One person. One. And it, she's actually not even on our team anymore because she's actually doing the Hood to Coast
Yes.
this year. Which,
and mind
beautiful.
you, she was one of the most supportive on the team.
Yeah, she really was. I mean, she
could run 14 laps around my ass.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
But she was so like, first off, you could tell she's locked in. Okay, she was locked into those mileage.
Yeah,
she was like super funny and super like
and she didn't care. She was there just to be there. And
but she was lovely.
Yeah.
And like, I felt the most supported by her, which actually surprised me because like I had never spent time with her. But that then leads to, because they singled her out and because made it seem like she was once again the problem, that then led to where we're at now.
Yeah, what I should have taken away from that experience was that I could do hard things, that my body is capable of more than I give it credit for, yada, 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 all this stuff that, the self-help books teach you. But what I took away from it was that if we're really going to do this again, that I don't want to be the burden. I don't want to be the problem. I don't want to be the reason why the team takes so long to finish. And listen, I'm an Aries, okay? We petty.
Mm-hmm.
We are petty, and I put up the nicest front. I mean, you can ask anyone who's ever met us, and they will tell you,
I'm the bitch
and I'm the sweet one. Okay,
but actually,
it's opposite. Okay, I am petty as petty can be, and words cannot express how petty I can be, and how many technical difficulties. Our camera has died. Please hold. Cue elevator music. We're back.
We are back. Hello. Did you miss us? Anyways.
Listen, guys, this is episode 1, okay? If there's
like we said, she's an Aries. I'm a bitch. She's a bitch. We're bitches. But she's petty and she holds grudges.
Here's the thing. She's the bitch up front, okay?
That's just because people don't like how blunt I am.
Correct. But
I'm just straight to the point. There's no point in me softening it for you.
If she's an idiot, she's gonna let you know, okay?
Yes.
Whereas I'm gonna tell you to your face that you are the nicest person you've ever met.
And it's all great. Everything's good.
And
no
think
problem.
to myself,
I'm gonna end you. I just need to figure out how. Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's been 7 seconds. I can say it.
What the fuck?
But it's so I went home and I started training. I I found a $40 treadmill, which is still going strong currently, on Facebook Marketplace, and I went for it. I looked up the Jeff Galloway method, rest in peace. And I started at crazy slow intervals. I mean, I was doing 5 minutes walking, 30 seconds running.
Mhm.
Um, and I did that, and we decided to sign up for the turkey trot that
Which is a
same year.
5K.
Yeah, it's a 5K, and um, at this point, she wasn't training with me. So I was training for the turkey trot.
And I distinctly remember saying, absolutely not, when
Yeah.
she asked me if I wanted to do it with her. Distinctly.
She doesn't usually get a choice. She
Sure.
usually does it anyways.
True.
So, we signed up. Moral of the story.
Yep.
And I had never run on the road before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had only done treadmill training. I didn't know what I was doing. I was a baby. I was doing this for the plot. I just wanted the revenge. I wanted to come back this year and go, I'm sorry.
How about you do my leg then,
I guess
bitch?
next time we should maybe put you in a thing that you're more capable of. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
That was the goal. Okay. And it turned into so much more. Okay. It turned into so much more. And let me just say that me and this person, it's a thing. Okay. It's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to be there. But
Multiple times.
so I did the 5K. We did the 5K. And we did not do bad. I mean,
Slow.
I struggled a lot because plot twist, treadmill training does not equate to road training. Let me just tell you that. It absolutely does not, and I have actually not touched the treadmill since.
Yeah.
My husband uses it now,
Which
but I
then
don't.
actually leads to how I got into it.
After the 5K, okay, and this is a post-race tradition, not a fat girl tradition, okay?
Yes.
Post-race traditions, we go to Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
Okay. And so we were at Taco Bell, and I said, okay, hear me out. What if we did a 10K? And she said, no.
Never.
And
You're never going to get me to do that.
I pester a lot.
She does.
So I just keep bringing it up. Until all of a sudden it feels like it's her idea.
It's not my idea.
And all of a sudden she's like, I think we could do a 10K.
I don't think we could do a 10K.
So we signed up for a 10K.
Okay, back it up. There was stuff that happened that caused me to then go, I need to be in my villain era. Okay?
That's true. That's fair.
So, now to my villain arc, as one would say. Somebody close to me, this was actually right after the turkey trot.
Yeah.
So it's actually perfect timing here.
The first weekend of.
So right after we completed it, it was the first weekend after the turkey trot, which is like right after Thanksgiving, that Thanksgiving weekend. Because the turkey trot is on Thanksgiving. So that Thursday, that Saturday afterwards, I was talking to somebody close to me about how excited I was that I finished the 5K and that I was in no means fast, but I did it, right? I completed it and I didn't think I could. And I said something along the lines of, I think Ash and I are going to do like more of these things, more races, more 5Ks. And they said to me, almost verbatim, why would you do all that for your one race a year? That's really not that even like that important. And I sobbed first. Because like I said, that person's actually quite important to me, unfortunately. And then I messaged Ash and I said, I don't give a I don't give a fuck what I've said to you before, and I don't care what I say to you going forward. I need you to lock me in because I know I can't do it alone. And I want to do the fucking thing. I want to do what you're doing. Let's do it together. And that Sunday, we signed up for a gym membership. And I will say, while that gym membership has been canceled, okay,
It has
been canceled. There's a reason. Okay, it's not just because we're fat. Okay, but we signed up for a gym membership, and we had 2 months free, which was December and January, and we went hard. We went, what, 4 or 5 days a week?
Yeah, we were.
I lost 15 pounds doing that, which was, thank you. I know. Anyways, we lost weight. We went pretty like consistently, but about mid-January was when we decided to sign up for that 10K, when she finally convinced me it was my idea.
Yep.
And we decided that treadmill training and all this means nothing if you're not outside like really doing it, because that's where you're going to be running those 10Ks, those 5Ks.
Actually, I think we gotta back that up a minute, because we were gonna go to the gym Christmas Eve. But we had just recently had like a really bad storm that had knocked out power to some
Oh
places.
yeah, that's right.
And so our gyms, because we had the 24-hour access key, our gym wasn't available to go for 24 hours because they had issues after the power outage. So we were just like, we have to do something if we're going to stick with this. What if we just went, we had to work Christmas Eve, and plot twist, we worked together.
Wow.
Crazy. And so we were just like, what if we just went for a walk, you know, instead of going to the gym? And that walk kind of changed everything.
The trajectory.
Yeah. I mean, we enjoyed that walk. We did it in the morning in the freezing cold. I mean, it was like,
we did a 5K. That was our first, like, there was no finish line. There was no medal. There was no, like, cheers or people or whatever. It wasn't for, you know, the glory of it or that feeling of, because trust me, the feeling of race day, if you've never experienced it,
it's incredible.
even if you're like,
it still gives me
even
goosebumps.
if you're slow, like, it doesn't matter. Like, the vibes are just, everybody there is cheering for you. Everybody.
And it's the most, listen, the running crowd is probably the most supportive group I have ever been a part of. I know we've done a lot of stuff. We've tried a lot of stuff, but that running group, they don't care. They don't care where you're at. They don't care, you know, how far into your journey every person you run past, and it's kind of an inside joke with us now, but every person you pass goes, "You're doing great, sweetie.
Like, keep going. I'll see you at the end.
We'll see
You're
you
almost
at the
there."
end. You got this.
And it has become kind of a joke with us, like when we see other people, to like say it to them too, even though, you know, we're slow. Okay, we're not like these people who are saying this to you are going like 5 miles and like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 miles an hour, dude. They're flying.
Yeah, their pace is, you know, double if not triple ours.
Right. But it's just that feeling of like, circling back to the being fat and feeling like a burden, like, they view everybody as an athlete, no matter like your ability. And there's something so cool about people that you see do, like, you know, I've seen people run 5-minute miles, right? Fast. And they're the ones who are saying, we both went the same distance. Just because it took me 5 minutes and you 20 minutes, what's the difference?
Yeah. Or, you know, they'll pass you, and like when you finish, you'll have people you've never seen before, never met before, that come up to you and tell you that they're proud of you. Like, just out of nowhere. Like, it is the most.
Race etiquette is crazy.
It's crazy.
Racers, runners are crazy in the best way.
Yeah.
So we decided on Christmas Eve, let's do a 5K, but not for any of that. Not for the glory, not for the medals.
Just for us.
Let's just go do, because we felt like in our minds a 5K is like supplemental to working out. Like, that's like, we're not going out there for a half mile and calling it a day, high-fiving. You know, we were like, let's put in some distance. And we loved it. We loved it. It was, I mean, it was amazing.
It was like 26 degrees outside. Okay. Christmas morning, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. Because we start work at 7:30, and I mean, we were just vibing. There was no one out there.
We were singing, we were dancing, we were laughing,
galloping. I mean, we're mostly walkers at this point. I mean, we weren't really doing running intervals at all, and we were even throwing in some jogging, like just like having the best time. And it was just a natural best time. It wasn't like a forced or, oh, I have to do this. Like, we actually were looking forward to it. And when we finished, it was like,
we could do this.
Why haven't we been doing this?
Don't we do this? So we changed the trajectory. So, like I said, yes, gym memberships, those were canceled.
Yeah, they went back. Well, I mean, technically we still have them until the end of March.
That's true. But we
we're
don't
not
go.
gonna go.
We don't go anymore. So, in February was our 10K. February, literally last weekend.
Yeah.
February 20th, 21st,
21st.
whatever. Dates don't matter. End of February, near end of February, we did our first 10K. And we had decided mid-January, let's just drop the gym because we have gym equipment at our house. So being there wasn't necessary anymore, especially because we started to increase going outside with our walking. And we decided let's do it with a purpose, right? Like let's figure out what we're trying to aim for and let's aim for it. So we had decided let's do more walking because that's what we were trying to do. That's what we're trying to accomplish here. We're trying to do a 10K. And so we started going and walking minimum 2, usually around 3 miles every single day.
Yeah. Yep.
On our lunch.
On our lunch before work, whenever we could get them in.
And then we did a step up program, if you will, on Saturdays. So every Saturday from probably the second weekend in January until our 10K, we would walk. And every single Saturday, we would increase by 1 to 2 miles. So we started with
2. Yeah.
Then we went to 3. Then we went to 4. Then I was on vacation. And we decided let's connect ourselves on Strava. So that we can see that you didn't lie about your mileage. And that one we kept steady, right? We didn't increase, we didn't decrease because we were just trying to squeeze it in. And then the weekend after that, we were supposed to do 5. 5 was on the plan, and we ended up doing almost 6.
Yeah.
Which was our first, like, holy shit. Like,
it was the first moment where we went, like, we kind of want to continue. Like, we don't want to stop.
And at this point, like, leading up to that weekend, we kept saying, like, how scared we were for this 10K, you know, because 6.2 miles is 6.2 miles. And if you've never walked that distance, like, to put it in perspective, not everybody will, but, like, her house to my house, we live in different towns, is less than that, you know, like, our distance. So for us, that was, what do you mean? Like, I can walk to downtown Portland in 6.2 miles.
Yeah.
From where I'm at, where we're filming at in Beaverton. So it's just the idea of we're going to walk that distance just seemed so far-fetched, so out of reach. And then for that weekend, which was 2 weekends before our 10K, to do 5.5, almost 6 miles, we realized, like, oh my God, we're actually in the game.
Yeah, like, we can actually do this.
And we could do hard things because I didn't think I could do a hard thing.
And, you know, like, it was that moment seen where we started versus where we were at, because when we did that 2 miles, it was hard. It was
hard.
That was hard
first walk, it was, oh, my feet hurt. Oh, my stuff's numb. Oh, I don't know how. Maybe we should just turn around. And we've gotten to a point now where come February, we decided just before the 10K, which psychotic. I had suggested, which at some point, hopefully you guys go to our TikTok and you see this, because I don't know when it's going to come out, but I had suggested about mid-February. Also, this is a shout out to anybody who likes this show. Anybody who's seen it. Heated rivalry. Okay. At some point we'll unhinge about this, but we won't do it in these first few
I told
episodes.
you it's going to be brought up at least in the first one.
We won't talk about it fully yet, but there was a TikTok idea that I had. And so we have a running TikTok that's just documenting what we're doing.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
documenting what we're telling you.
Literally shits and giggles and our motivational posts when we need it.
They're stupid. There's motivational posts. There's us, like, getting attacked by geese. The good stuff.
Yeah.
I had this TikTok idea, okay, and it was based around heated rivalry. And I won't go too much into details, but we had set a goal mid-February. Hey, we're psychotic. What if we complete 50 miles in 1 month so that we can execute this TikTok idea? And
anyone who's watched the show knows exactly what we're talking about.
Yes. And yesterday was February 28th, and we hit 50.4.
50.4, which it's really important to say that the month before that, it was like 20.
Yes.
Okay.
I think mine was like 19.8. So for us, that was like crazy. And we were in the midst of training for this 10K. We finished our 10K and we still had 20 miles to go.
Yeah.
So we squeezed so many miles into that last week of the month.
Yeah, with dead legs. I mean,
dead legs.
I don't know if this is for everyone or just maybe the fat bitches in the group, but I cannot tell you how even at this point, even yesterday when we did our last walk, because we're filming this on the 1st.
Yes, today's the 1st, March 1st.
Even our walk yesterday, which was basically a week after our
Mhm.
10K, my legs still would not move. I mean,
Yep.
we spent the entire time talking about how, like, hard it was to figure out how to move. It feels like all of your fitness is just gone.
Gone.
Like,
So, we set a goal,
but we
we
did it.
hit it, and we realized we can do hard things, so why don't we just do another hard thing, which is a podcast.
A podcast, especially, like, and it may seem like, "Oh, well, they're just, like, chatting. They, like, we're just talk." No, 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 you don't understand. You don't understand how socially awkward we are. We only talk to one person, and that's
Each other.
I mean, there's a reason why we literally had no other friends growing up, and it's because no one could break through this barrier that we have, okay?
We're just, like, in sync, and I think that intimidates people, which I get it, trust me. I've met other in sync people,
Yeah,
and it is intimidating.
I mean, I'm sure it'll happen at some point, but we will literally, without mentioning anything, we'll say the same random thought, okay? Not even in context.
Yes,
Just
and
like
then we'll do the exact same laugh and possibly gasp afterwards.
Yeah, it's a whole thing, and
It's
it will
really
happen.
interesting, and I hope you guys get to experience it.
That's a little
That's where we're at.
that's a little bit of how we got here and why we're doing this, and
But we don't want this to be a fitness podcast. Let me get that frank, okay?
we will be talking
We
about
will be
fitness,
talking about our journey of walking and
self-discovery.
right. Like, what are our goals? What are we working towards right now? But this really is us trying to almost like pen to paper thoughts to an audience and
Yeah.
see if anybody relates.
It's like a video
have
journal.
have any of you been petty enough to go do something after somebody told you couldn't, or you shouldn't, or you won't?
Also, we are also taking applications for more friends. So
If you would like to penetrate
not the right
this
phrasing.
barrier,
No, 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 no.
if you would like to penetrate this barrier, send it on in. You know what I'm saying?
Send it on in.
Send it on in.
We're gonna have our email down below. This video.
Also, questions, comments, concerns,
Yeah.
don't have them.
If you want to tell us your petty
sorry.
revenge story,
Please. I love to
embarrassing
read what people
stories.
have done. And if you are so inclined to also allow us to share it with the audience, we would love to do that as well. But today's episode, a lot of blabbering. You heard a lot. You probably didn't listen to everything. That's fine. All we're trying to do
I
is
didn't listen to everything. I was here.
I blacked out half this episode.
I don't even know what we talked about.
So we hope you follow us in the journey to self-discovery. And if you don't, well, we were glad you were here.
That's pretty much it.
Um,
Catch you on the next one.
Sincerely,
Doubtfully
yours.
yours. Peace, bitches.
Oh, so-